Hi, everyone. Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and non-subscribers are really hoping to tease you into pushing that button. This past fall, I completed my 38th year coaching football, and I was a defensive coordinator. But over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, what I want to talk to you about in our 3-4 is one of our 3D variations that we call green. So as a reminder, we use colors for all of our coverages. And so green is a 3D variation. I'm going to show it to you versus 11 and 10 personnel, just so you can see its versatility. You can use it against 21, and whatever the personnel grouping is, you can use it. Okay? And so before I get to the key terms that are over here that'll help you understand green, up top is versus 11 gun Dallas pistol, right? 2x2. And on the bottom is versus 10 gun Detroit pistol. Again, D, right? Not subscribers, push the button. 2x2. Okay. So up top, we have what's called a Louis. And on the bottom, we have a Roger. And that's why that's important. We're going to get to now in the key terms. So the first key term is surface. Surface itself. What the surface means to us. Offensive line, okay, tackle to tackle. And when there's a tight end, we include the tight end on the surface on that side, okay? So everybody, second and third level, meaning inside, outside linebackers, defensive backs, they read surface first. Tell them run, pass, direction. So high hats, you get pass, right? Otherwise, low hats, collisions, all the things that you use to teach players the difference. You have run, and then which direction is it, right or left? So everybody's reading the surface. Okay, so I'm not going to say surface to this, surface every single time. It's automatic surface first. Okay, so obviously that helps you with play action and so forth. What cover green is, number 2, is it's a rotation to the rover. Okay, safeties spin to the rover. And that brings in the Louis Roger. So up top here as an example, rover's left. So it's a Louis. Safeties will be spinning left. And how that all plays out, I'm going to get to. Down here on the bottom, the rover's on the right. So it's a Roger. Safeties are spinning to the right. Okay? Let's just make sure your safeties are spinning together in the direction they should be. We don't take anything for granted, right? I always talk about we communicate verbally, right? There's not going to be any mental telepathy going on because you know sometimes you'll say to a player, "Hey, what? Oh, I was thinking that." Well, that's wonderful, right? Say what you're thinking. That's all we mean. Okay. So then, part of our 3D variation composition in general, right? The philosophy behind our 3D variations, we have a match side and we have a hot side. Okay? So the match side involves both inside linebackers and the dime, the other outside linebacker, the one opposite the rover. Okay? The hot side, number 4, is the rover side. And if it's pass, the rover rush. Okay? Automatic. He rushes. If it's a run, he plays the run. So we don't send the rover. It's not a blitz. It's the rover's the 4th rusher if it's a pass. Okay, if it's a run, the rover's part of the run support. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And then the safety who screws down toward the rover is playing hot on that receiver. Okay, so you'll see that play out on both the top and the bottom. Okay. And so the hot side technique is it's the man coverage with zone leverage. So non-subscribers push the button, you get access to all of our zone blitz coverages. Okay, well, essentially they're playing zone blitz coverage. Okay, man coverage with zone technique, zone leverage, excuse me. Okay, the screw down, the spinning of the safeties occurs on the snap. All right, we give the quarterback a picture. And we don't change the picture for him so he can help see what's happening. We want him to, this is what he thinks he has. And then the ball snapped and he's focusing on getting the snap or taking the snap and taking his reads. And meanwhile, things changed after the snap. That's what we want. Okay, so the spinning of the safeties, the screw down occurs on the snap. Big. Number 5, our 2 corners, field and boundary. They are playing a third technique. So what that means is they tempo number 1, so they read surface, pass, they tempo 1 vertically. So that means they're keeping zone leverage. They're on top. If number 1 disappears, okay, then they're going to tempo, and we just say scan your eyes inside for the threat to your third. There's got to be a vertical threat somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to show that to you when we get to the diagram. That's our third technique for our corners. And then the other safety, right, you got the hot side safety screwing down. Then you got the middle third safety, again, who rotates on the snap. Okay, he's going to read the surface on the way. So if it's run, he's going to stick it in the ground and fit in where he's needed. If it's pass, he has to be 20 yards on, okay, deep. It's the goal. We want him to be 20 yards deep. And then he'll have landmarks for middle of the field and when the ball's in the hash. So I'll go over that with you in the diagram. Okay? And then what he looks for are the near threats. So he knows he's rotating middle on the snap, so he identifies where his near threats are on both sides before the ball's even snapped. Okay? So over here, I'm not drawing any route combinations or anything like that. I'm just going to go through the particulars of the techniques. Okay? So let's just assume for the sake of discussion on both the top and the bottom that it is a pass. So the surface is showing hi-hats and they're getting a little depth. Whether it's a hard set or a soft set's irrelevant, but they're sitting back, they're showing the hi-hats, right? It's pass. So first things first, the rover, he becomes the 4th rusher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Boom, done. On the snap, this is a Louis call because the rover's left. On the snap, he's screwing down. He is hot on number 2, right? So he plays man on number 2 with zone leverage, which means he stays on top, no matter what number 2 does. Safety, in this case, the free, rotating middle. So what are his landmarks? Well, when the ball's in the middle of the field, the landmark is get over the quarterback. Okay, because it's not likely that the quarterback's launch points vary all that much. If they do, we say get over roughly where the ball started, okay, before the play was snapped. When the ball's on the hash, okay, you want to get to the exact middle of the field, which is the part of the goalpost that goes into the ground. So have your safeties look down the field, see roughly where the goalpost goes into the ground, and that's where they want to be. That's their landmark. Okay, so they are right smack, that's dead center, middle of the field. Okay? And then hopefully you can see, okay, the match side, 2 inside linebackers in the dime. The Mike linebacker, in this case, is on the side of the rover, so he's looking for 1 to coming in, and that would be under 10. He doesn't come in, then he's working for the curl. Inside linebacker away, he's looking for 2 coming in, again under 10, or the curl, the dime. If 1 comes in hard, he takes him. If not, he keeps expanding to the flat. And so if it were a run, 2 is removed, so it's orbit. Since the safety's screwing down, it's sky, to answer that question. And in both corners, again, tempoing 1. So they see the hi-hats. First thing, now their eyes go back to 1. He's vertical. They stay tempo on him, meaning just match the tempo of the receiver. If he's breaking your cushion, then you may have to get into your crossovers, but stay on top. If he goes hard inside under 10, sits in a hitch, Tempo, looking eyes now to number 2, knowing somebody's hot on him, looking for another potential vertical threat. And the other corner is doing the exact same thing. Okay? So the only difference between 11 Dallas and 10 Detroit, well, for starters, ball's in the middle of the field, so this would be an even call non-subscribers. So that's a right-handed quarterback, makes it Liz. Got to push the button, non-subscribers. Wah! Okay, and the only other difference, since it is even, Rover is automatically on the right, which makes this a Roger call. Same landmarks, middle of the field, over the quarterback, ball in the hash, find the part of the goalpost that goes into the ground, right? Now on pass, he's a little bit removed, but he's still going to rush from there, screwing down on the snap, rotating middle on the snap, right? Both corners are still tempoing number 1. The 2 match inside linebackers. The inside linebacker on the side of the Rover, and again, it's the Mike. Looking for 1 coming in, okay? Inside linebacker away from the Rover, looking for 2 coming in. Both are curl defenders if that receiver's not coming inside to them. And again, in is under 10. Go back to our grade 4 match quarters concept, non-subscribers. And then the dime, looking for 1. If not, flat. Again, you have orbit. And you have sky if, in fact, it was a run. Okay, so that also means for a run play, you got a +1 in the box with the safety screwing down, right? +1, +1. Woohoo! Pretty cool. So that is cover green, one of our 3 deep variations, okay? So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I hope I tease you into pushing that button. To everyone, I hope you reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com. I want to thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football, and I want to thank YouTube for providing this platform.